Hey everyone, Dan Mortimer with eXp Realty, and it is time for another weekly market update. This is for the week of October 14th, 2024. The latest and greatest happening in Henderson and Las Vegas. So let's dive into the numbers that we've got. So this is a 7-day snapshot. This is data pulled from the multiple listing service of the Las Vegas Realtors Board. And in the last 7 days, we've seen 878 new listings come on the market. We've had 160 additional listings that came back on the market. So that means they were under contract at one point and the deal fell apart. So it's back on the market, adding to that 878 in the new listing category. We also saw 865 listings in our market that had a price decrease. So price dropped, whether that's $1, whether that's $100,000, 865 of those in the last 7 days. As far as under contract units go, we had 275 that went into under contract show status, and then another 435 that went into under contract no show status. So in total, it's about 710 total units that went under contract in the last week. We also had 483 that sold. That means they were under contract, the sale finally closed out, money was paid, keys were exchanged, all that good stuff. And then another 59 that were put into coming soon status, which basically means it got put onto the MLS, but not publicly available yet, will be active on the market within the next 30 days or less. So overall, what we're seeing, it's a pretty positive trend. The under contract units, and you can even see the solds, are quite a bit lower than the active inventory, but the under contract units is picking up steam, which is a good sign. It means that we're not getting completely absorbed by homes going under contract right away. Some stuff is still sitting, but we are seeing a little bit more buyer activity than we've seen in recent weeks. So a positive trend overall. Seeing some units come back, or some homes come back on the market, it's a little bit of a troubling sign, but like I said, the number of units going under contract shows that maybe there's a little bit more buyer confidence, and maybe we'll start to see more of these homes moving and selling in the coming weeks. As far as active listings overall go, we still have over 5,000 single family homes. That's a pretty consistent trend that we see in our market. Usually it hovers anywhere from 6,500 up to 10,000. Just kind of depending on the market that we're in. There are 1,247 active condo listings, and then another 663 townhomes that are on the market as well. Now, keep in mind, this is just resales. So there are a few new builds that get put onto the MLS, and they're tracked in these stats, but for the most part, this does not reflect new construction homes, as they usually keep their stuff off MLS. So there may be some additional sales going on in that market that we just don't have as much data on as, Lennar, D.R. Horton, KB, Beazer, whichever developer it is. It just kind of depends on what data they put on the MLS versus what they keep off the MLS. Usually that's information that they keep, and then they put it in their, their shareholder meetings and whatnot. So, but this gives you a pretty good idea of what's going on in our market. Buyer activity, like I said, it's picked up a little bit, which is a good sign. Still lots of opportunities here in the market as we go to the end of the year. I know I've mentioned it in my last few updates, but if you're thinking about buying a home, and I say this, if you're thinking about buying a home and you have an area that you want to be in, you're planning on staying in that area for the next 5 to 7 years, and you can comfortably afford the payments, then this is a unique window of opportunity to possibly get into a home and get a better price, get better terms than you'll be able to get in the spring. We obviously don't know what the future holds. Each year is it operates independently. There are a lot of different factors at play, but generally speaking, home prices continue to climb. They continue to go up. I mentioned it in my monthly market update for the month of September, and I've mentioned it in a few of these weekly updates as well. Prices are continuing to climb. So even though homes are sitting, it's because they're overpriced and they just need to get in line with where the market is. But overall, the median sale price of homes continues to climb steadily more and more. And so what I anticipate happening in the spring, that's our peak buying season. So that's when we see the most buyer activity, the most sales happening. That's when we see multiple offers, tons of competition, and sellers are not willing to contribute to closing costs. If they have multiple offers on their home, buyers are competing against one another. So if you're a buyer and you're in a position where you can buy and you're comfortable buying, this is a good opportunity to take advantage of a little bit of a slower market before things pick up. Think of it as trying to buy a home when homes are generally on sale. Now, not every single home is sitting on the market for weeks and weeks at a time, desperate for a buyer. Sellers have different motivations, but generally speaking, this is the time of year where you could get some closing costs covered, maybe most of your closing costs covered. You could get assistance on, you can get a home warranty. They're more flexible on price. This is the time, this is the window of opportunity where you have that ability. Whereas if you wait until the spring, there's a chance prices will still be slightly higher than they are now, and you're going to have more competition for possibly fewer homes to choose from. And it just becomes, it's the Hunger Games. it's mano y mano, dog eat dog, and people can be ruthless. And if you're competing against cash buyers, or you're competing against buyers that are putting 20, 30, 40, 50% down, it just makes it much more difficult to get into the right home. So that's my recommendation. If you're thinking about selling, if you need to sell by the end of the year, my recommendation would be get your home on the market ASAP, price it aggressively so that you can attract a buyer in the next probably 2 to 3 weeks, just to be safe, because there's nothing worse than needing to sell and it's the first week of December and things are dead and you have to tank your price or figure something else out by the end of the year. So that's my recommendation. And I hope these weekly updates are valuable for you. If you could, there are 2 ways that you can support me in doing these. One is to like and subscribe to my channel. I try to put out as much video content as possible so that people can learn a little bit more about our market, what's going on, what the trends are, and just be as much value to you as possible, whether you're looking to buy or sell. And the second thing that you can do to help me and support me is if you are thinking about buying or selling a home in Henderson or Las Vegas, whether it's 9 days or 90 days from now, book a discovery call. I've got a link that I'll put in the description that you can reach out to me directly. Let's set up a consultation call. It's completely hassle-free, no obligation, no cost. And this allows me to just learn a little bit more about your situation, see what your goals are, and see if it makes sense to start moving on that plan now, or we can put a longer term plan in place to make sure that we accomplish your goals whenever the time is right for you. So I hope you got some value from this. Really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you at the next one, and we'll see you later.